What's going on, guys? Today I'm going to review the chains that I bought from the goldshop.com, so GLDshop.com. Bought these chains a couple weeks ago, and I did some research before I bought them. I've done more research since I bought them, and I just wanted to share some of the things that I found out on my own, some of the things I found out from research, some things I found out from the customer service with GLD Shop. I bought these chains, like I said, a couple weeks ago. I got them. They run a lot of sales. They do a lot of like buy one, get another chain free. They do like free tennis chains with a certain purchase price. They do 30% off, stuff like that. So it seems almost every day they got some sort of different deal going on. You're trying to find the one that suits what you're looking to get. So if you're looking to get a chain from them, I'd recommend just trying to keeping an eye on their site and seeing when a sale comes up that would suit what you're trying to get. So, I bought two chains from them. The first one is a gold-plated 5 millimeter, you can see on the right, and the second one is a 8.5 millimeter. It is their quote-unquote like iced out Cuban link chain. So it has the Cuban zirconium and it's gold-plated. So just to speak on that one real quick, I was kind of curious with their Vermel. They kind of say what the base material is, and that's sterling silver, obviously, for the Vermel. But I was curious as to what their base layer is for the gold-plated stuff. So I emailed them, and they said that their gold-plated stuff starts with a base layer of hypoallergenic surgical steel, which is plated in 14 to 18 karat gold using our proprietary method, allowing for a long-lasting, non-fading wear. These pieces feature handset quadruple A plus Cuban zirconium stones, which are the top grade Cuban zirconium available on the market. So that's just what they told me. I, don't know. There's obviously no way to verify what kind of like Cuban zirconium stones are using and whatnot, but that's just what they said. I suppose they have no reason to lie, but that's just what they told me. So the first chain here, like I said, this one is a 5 millimeter gold-plated, gold-plated Cuban chain. So this is the clasp on the gold-plated chain. This is going to be the same for both the chains that I bought. I know they have some new ones coming out. This one on the gold-plated chain works pretty well. So basically when it's locked, you have to push this down, this little button here, and then simultaneously you have to flip up these little ears here. And once you do that, hang on a second, this one's kind of tight. All right, so once you do that, it comes free. You want to put it back, you just have to get those ears out of the way, click it, push the ears in, and it connects. And this one's pretty sturdy. I'll talk about the one on the other chain here in a second. But this one's pretty good. The chain itself, it's not, to be honest with you, I'm not a gold or a jewelry expert, so I have never really had much in the way of like solid gold chains or anything like bit like this. So I can't say what the weight difference would be. This one does feel a little light, but for somebody like me who's just trying to go in for the look, I'm not like I said, a jewelry expert, and I'm not trying to be a jewelry expert when I'm talking about this stuff. So I'm just trying to be real with you guys from a normal person's perspective, because I know a lot of the reviews I've seen from people who are jewelry experts seem to be a little bit biased because maybe they work for or they have another company that they're trying to recommend. So obviously they're not going to promote budget chains being anywhere near the quality of the stuff that they have, which is understandable. So the second chain here, now this one is the one that these type of chains, you either like them or you don't, because the real chains are obviously very, very expensive, and these are a very low budget alternative to that same look. So a lot of people have their own opinions on that. I can kind of speak a little bit about like my opinions on that, and it's tough because I know a lot of people have multiple hobbies, and hobbies nowadays are getting really expensive. So if jewelry is kind of just a hobby for you, it's not something you're just crazy passionate about, saving up to buy something like this is not all that practical. I know that, like I said, I have multiple hobbies and it gets expensive. So somebody who just really likes the look and they want something close, this is the alternative for them. However, I think it's worth noting that if you opt to get something like this, you definitely should be straight up with anybody who asks that it's not, a real solid gold diamond encrusted chain. This is just a close copy of something like that. So that being said, the first thing about this chain, like I said, it has the same clasp as that other one, but this one does not seem to work as well. If you kind of notice this one, this ear is supposed to be closed, and that one's just really easy to pop off. And this one's a little bit tighter, but just as easy to pop off. So even when it's closed, if there's tension on it, it's obviously not going anywhere. But if there's any sort of push on it, yeah, see how that one just falls out just because I was pushing them together. So I mean, that's not great. However, I will say that I've seen on a lot of their new products, they have come out with new clasps that seem to work a lot better. So that's good. Anytime you see a company that has something like this where there's an issue, it doesn't work all that well, and they go to improve it. So I mean, that's something good to see. I know the Gold Shop has only been out for a couple of years, so it's nice to see that if they have a problem with something, they're actually taking the effort to make it better. And that's something you do want to see out of a company. Obviously, companies first tried everything. It's probably not going to be the greatest, but what you want to see is them actually going to try and fix the problems that they have. So the other part of the chain, like I said, this is gold plated, and these are cubic zirconium stones. So a lot of people, everyone's worried about how they dance in the light, how well do these shine. So I see a lot of videos, people like put them in a dark room with like a flashlight on them or their flash on the camera or whatever. And of course they're going to shine great. So I want to do a little bit more just kind of looking at them in the natural light. This is just, I'm in my kitchen right now. I have overhead lighting above the counter, and this is just regular old lighting. I mean, it's not right on top of it or nothing. And this is just a regular camera. This is just a phone camera. So this is what they look like in a little bit more natural lighting. It's not anything crazy, but I mean, they still shine pretty well. They're obviously not going to be VVS stones. They're not going to shine like VVS stones. There's a reason that people pay the money they do for VVS stones, and it's not for them to shine just as well as cubic zirconium. But cubic zirconium still, if like they said, they claim to use very high quality stuff. So if that's true, they should shine pretty well. And I mean, that seems to be the case. They do shine pretty well. They seem to shine pretty well in natural light. So that I will say is pretty decent about the chain. So there's some like kind of interesting things. I don't know what kind of process they use for placing these stones. They say they're hand set. I don't know with the way the prices that they sell them. That seems like that may be kind of tough. But I mean, hey, if they do that, that's great. So this is kind of the underside of the chain. You can tell that they're a little bit like they're hollow there. Not that it really matters. It's the underside of the chain, but just kind of interesting, worth noting that like half of the link is hollow. I don't know if that's for their setting process or what. I don't know. Like I said, I'm not an expert, and I don't know what their method is for placing these. But yeah, that's worth noting about the underside of the chain. It's not the prettiest. So, but like I said, I think I paid about $230 probably for this chain, and they were running a sale where buy another chain and you get one for free. So I ended up getting both chains for like $230. So I mean, was I pleased with my purchase? I mean, yeah, I understand that this is not real. These are not going to hold your value like any sort of real jewelry would. So you can kind of take it for what you want there, whether or not that's worth it to you. To buy something that's fake and does not really retain any value. But yeah, I've heard some people say this is like costume jewelry, and I mean, I will say it's better than that. Definitely not costume jewelry. But like I said, I do have some complaints, some things I like. I definitely do not wear this one all that much. If I could do it again, I'd probably go with like a 10 millimeter or something. I think this one's just a little bit small. It's also a little bit short for me. I mean, still wear it every now and again, but you kind of have to wear it with the right clothes for it to look right. And another thing is just that clasp. I'm not crazy about that clasp. And as you can tell, I don't know if you noticed when I was moving it around, it actually fell out. So it's just not great. Would definitely like to see them stick with the better clasp that they're coming out with. But this one, not great. So, but like I said, companies that go and improve their products, that's always good to see. So, but just a couple more looks here. Just have to shine. So, like I said, everyone's going to have their own opinion on these style of chains, whether or not they like them, they don't, whether or not they think people should wear them. But at the end of the day, it is people's choice to spend their money on what they want. So if they want to rep this kind of look, if they don't want to spend 50 grand on a chain, they're more comfortable spending $400 on a chain or however much some of these chains cost. It's just, like I said, it's everybody's prerogative what they want to spend their money on, or what kind of look they're going for. So I'm not going to get mad at somebody for wearing a fake chain like this. And honestly, it's because, again, even if you could spend that kind of money on chain, not everybody's going to, even if they had the money to do it, because some people, it's just not worth it to wear a $50,000 chain. It's just, they'd rather spend that money, I guess, more responsibly on things that they need. So, but again, the chains, they're cool look, they're in style right now. So I know people are going to try to get that look without spending a ton of money on it. So I think just what we're trying to find out here is who makes the best close looking chains, if that makes sense. So, you don't want junk, and I've seen all these companies advertise some junk. The Gold Shop, it's not perfect. It's not 100%. It's not like 100% clone of what the actual real stuff looks like either. But I do think it's one of the better alternatives, because I see the videos, I see people kind of ragging on them, don't seem to have any sort of alternative. It's basically just buy the real stuff, save up, buy the real stuff. And that just kind of goes back to what we were talking about before. Not everybody can, not everybody wants to. So I think if somebody wants to try to look for a good alternative, a very close copy of these style of chains, then they have the right to try to find a company that has a good alternative. So far I've seen that's probably the GLD shop. Again, not 100% pleased with everything about these chains, but they do seem like a company that is trying to make their product better. And any company that does that, I think I'm okay with supporting, because you always want to see a company that's trying to better itself. And hey, if these chains are pretty good and they can get them to the point where they're very good, that'd be great. And they're still keeping out a pretty budget price point. So I think they're worth a look. And like I said, I would definitely like to get some of the other chains to take a look at, especially some of the bigger ones. Some of the new stuff they're coming out with, like the GLD signature chains. I don't know if I mentioned earlier, but they have the different clasp, and the color of the plating is supposed to be a little bit closer, or at least what I've noticed. So I would like to get my hands on some of the other chains and see if they've kind of remedied some of the stuff that I kind of have complaints about, because some of these chains, it looks like this is some of the older stuff they came out with, and there are a lot of new products. So that I'm hoping that I've, again, remedied some of those problems. So those are kind of my final thoughts on the chains. Some people think that the price for a fake chain is a little steep. I think that from what other competitors are going for, with the quality of the stuff that they're producing, with GLD shop quality being decent for like a, clone chain, I think their price points, it's fair. I think it's definitely fair. I would buy from them again. No complaints. Like I said, couple complaints about the product. No complaints with the company. They were very good. The customer service is good. The shipping time is good. The price is good. So the company itself is great. And I'm hoping that with kind of more feedback and stuff they get, they will continue to improve their products. So, but we'll have to see in the future if that's what they do. So, but yeah, those are just kind of my final thoughts about the products. I would definitely at least give them a look and see if they have anything that you might want to get. But yeah, those are my final thoughts. So thank you guys.